So it's been a minute since we've shown anything, any progress or anything that we've got going on. But the Coop house is up. How cool is that? This is 10 from a very, very old barn that we were able to salvage and repurpose. This coop is completely hurricane proof, which we need that being in Florida. Can you see it? There we go. How pretty, right? So I'm gonna paint the trim. I think I might just do like a dark brown, maybe just a white, I'm not sure yet. And then this is the beginning of the run. And the run is gonna come off about 16 feet. That is all sawdust we were able to get to put down. We need to find, I wanna find an old door. And I'd love to turn it into a Dutch door. But right now it's storing bikes. Got some sawdust down. All the boxes, the laying boxes will be on this side. We're also gonna cut out, I don't know if we're gonna cut it here, maybe like a little triangle, or if we're just gonna cut like a straight like window for ventilation purposes, and probably another one over here. And this will be where the door is. So we're just gonna fold that metal back, and then we'll frame out and probably most likely put a automatic door on it. I'm not sure yet. We're still thinking about that. But how cool is that? Barns, and my dad built this. It's so beautiful. But I really want to show you too the compost bin. We've got a good system going so far. This actually needs to be covered. I don't like having bits of food exposed like that. Usually cover it. Yeah.
I just touched the mouse.
Ew, don't touch the mouse. That's gross. You need to go wash your hands.
It was dead.
It was dead.
I just touched the mouse.
Go wash your hands with soap and water.
What mouse?
Soap and water. Yucky. So, like I was saying, I am going to cover this with some browns, and the brown you see in here, that's also sawdust as well. We've been throwing in here. We got, our neighbor blessed us. He blessed us with a bunch of local sawdust. Sweet kitty. This is Socks. She just brought us a mouse this morning. You're purring so loud, huh? She's such a sweet kitty. She's got her beautiful winter coat on, super thick. You sweet girl. She snuggles. Sweet kitty. She follows us everywhere. It's like the kid's little best friend. Look at her. Where are you going? Anyway, here's another compost pile we started. Our neighbor has quite a big garden, and he gave us all of this sawdust and a bunch of greens from his garden too. So this is kind of, we just threw it together because it's kind of last minute. Really not exact science in there, but it's a 3-to-1 ratio of greens and browns. So, and I made sure we watered it in, because if it's not, it gets all dried out. Ants get so bad. The other bin I let dry out way too long, and the whole thing was a giant ant pile. It was awful. And there's just some extra stuff, but yeah, that's what's going on with that. It's super exciting.
Hey, Mom, no, that might, then it bite me.
Yeah, we don't. Okay, don't touch it, please.
Yeah, bites I know.
Yeah.
Right
So this is our little garden going on. We've got all of our fall stuff in here.
Almost done.
Almost.
Whoa.
It's got a head forming. This one's bigger. This one's nice.
You one and I done that one. Cabbage! I see cabbage!
That is cabbage. What about those?
With it?
What are all those?
Cabbage?
That is cabbage. And there's purple cabbage.
It's not. And, oh, Mom, that's a tiny one.
It's a tiny one.
Oh, the side one or not.
I had some radishes planted in between. They did really well over here, but as you can see, I've totally neglected, and the grass and weeds have taken over. Oh, that's not a carrot, baby. That's parsley.
Yeah, I can't eat
It
that.
almost looks like a carrot, doesn't it?
Mom, I want that. Hey, Mom, where's the carrot? Rabbits.
That's Papa's makeshift seesaw.
Mom, the rabbit.
How funny, right?
Mom.
It actually works really well. Yeah, there's a radish.
There's a carrot.
What are these?
Weather.
No.
Cabbage.
No. Look at it. Look down here. What are those?
Bok choy.
No, it's not bok choy. These are Brussels sprouts.
What? You can't eat them.
Yeah, we can. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of a frost damage. They're purpling.
Mom.
They seem to be doing good.
some
Oh, look
water.
at these. I haven't looked at these in a bit.
Mom, they drank in some water.
Yeah.
Oh, Mom, I need to rip that.
Don't rip it. I like to pull the bottom few layers off. Kind of boost the energy and growing. All of our broccoli has bolted.
Mom, I'll tell you what.
There's more carrots in between. Yes, baby.
Tell it.
Those are more carrots too. Yeah, they're not ready yet. They're very little. Would you believe I thinned these out?
I want to tell it.
Yeah, I'm curious. So here's the issue with this garden space. Let me back up. So this half, when it rains pretty heavy, is underwater. These are not underwater. However, there are like little canals on each sides of these beds that hold water, which I'm okay with because my plants are not underwater. However, some things are getting too much water because of that. This was a total last minute thing. We have now decided that this space will be strictly for berries. So we've got that whole row right here is all blueberries, and I got blackberries on this end, and we'll slowly over time, because it's fairly expensive to buy the berry plants, we'll fill this whole space with berries. For now, it's a mixture of everything. So we've got more carrots here and onion. Here's some baby gem lettuce with garlic interplanted in between. I wonder if I just dropped this seed. Because look at this. I don't know if you can see it because of the sun. Let me try. Can you see that? Wow. No, the carrots are not ready. All the bok choy has bolted. This is red sales lettuce with garlic in between. Doing really, really well. All this was started from seed. Very pretty. I'm gonna let all this just bloom for the bees and other pollinators. This is our little pitiful grapevine that I will start trailing up this spring. This is empty. Another cabbage, sugar snap peas, which I don't expect to get anything from. This is all empty, and there's a little bit of chive there. These are our blueberries, and I've got bunching onions here in between, more carrots, and weeds with blueberries. And then this is the blackberry we've got going on. Everything's just pretty much dormant right now. Oh, careful, make sure she's sitting.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this little maple tree we're going to transplant. Got some yarrow and a willow. This willow was actually propagated off the willow we have. Is it a spider web? It's okay. And this willow is actually going to go to a friend of mine. Her and her husband bought this beautiful property, and they have a huge pond out there, so thought it would be great for them to take that one. Our willow is way out there. Our property line is one massive rectangle. So pond will eventually go back there. We're hoping to do that this spring. I don't know if it's going to happen. It'd be great if it did. We shall see. But yep, lots of plans. So speaking of plans, I'm gonna go over what we've got in hopes for 2024. Okay, so 2024, our goals for the year. I'm gonna use this to reflect back on at the end of this year, we want to dig the pond. That is on our list to do. We have to really focus this year on drainage on our property. So we're pretty high on our, the front of our property is pretty high. However, the back, it's kind of like all slanted like this, okay? Not too much of a pitch, but it's ever so slightly slanted. So everything pulls to the back corner of our property. There goes a tiny human. So we need to trench out on the corner, the back corner of the property. Runs running with the sword. Can you please be careful running with that? Thank you. We're gonna trench out on the back end of the property and the side. And then we also need to put gutters on the house. So that's on the list for this year to do. No particular month to have it done by, just it needs to happen this year. We have seen now, we've been out on the property. A lot of people say, let me back up. A lot of people say don't build anything permanent on your property when you buy a property after a year, so you can see what's going on the property. What are you doing? So, we have assessed all the things on the property of what needs to be fixed and arranged over this past year. We haven't been living out here for a year, but we've been out here enough over the past year to where we've seen it. And we've been through all the storms. We've already had a hurricane while living out here come through. And we know where the water's puddling and where it needs to be taken care of, like where we need to address our attention to. And so we need to get gutters on the front and back of the house. We need to address the drainage on the back of the property by digging out trenches on the back half and the side and allowing it to flow through the culvert. We also need to repair the front of our fence, which is not a major thing I would say that has to be done this year, but it would be nice if we could. We talked about putting in a French drain to the front of the house, but I don't think that would necessarily, I don't think it'd be completely necessary. If we just get gutters and just divert the water away. If we do a French drain, it's going to be on the front of the house, not the back, because everything slopes down away. So with digging out the pond, we need the dirt. Dirt is expensive. And so it's roughly about $150 for one truck full of dirt. And we got one truck full, and we were able to just cover up a couple of spots in the front, and it was not nearly enough. And so the trend that we have seen is people dig a pond, and if they've already dug a pond and they need dirt, they dig a bigger pond. And so, okay, let's try this again. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the back of the property, the pond will address the drainage issue we have, and it will also provide us the dirt that we need. So, and I think we're gonna do a kidney bean shape, and I already have the willow planted back there. We planted it back there specifically because, one, I always wanted a willow tree. I think they're the most beautiful things. And two, there's water that already pools there, and so we just went ahead and planted it out there, and it's loving its life. And so that's going to stay there, and we'll build the pond around it. But if I want to create any flower beds, we need more dirt around the house, and so that will also provide the dirt that we need for those flower beds. We also have a big plan, a sketched out plan. My mother-in-law and I were brainstorming back and forth with it, that we've designed how the front of the property is going to look. It's going to take quite a bit of time because it's going to cost quite a bit of money with what we want to do. And so, like, we want to eventually pour off a porch. We want to move the entrance down more, have a nice long driveway. We got to remove, slowly but surely, we're removing this tree out. Tree work's scary, guys. I don't like doing that. I don't like my husband doing it either. But that tree has to go. It is rotten. And so there's limbs here and there that fall off. And so we've been slowly chipping at it. Yeah, and then the other huge project, I lied. So there is another big project for this year, is the shop. It is a shed right now. It's not functioning. So it's strictly storage. There's a lot of work that has to happen in there. Walls need to be taken out in there. A lot of it is rotten, so things need to be replaced. We want to get it all cleaned out and built properly, that it's structurally sound, and yeah, and that we can use it for the purpose that it is intended to be used for. So that's kind of what we got going on. So we got finishing the coop, getting our chickens. I don't see us building big garden spaces right now, so I'm going to kind of work with what we got. And then dig out the pond, address the drainage issues, and fill in more dirt around the house. So there's a lot we've got to do. We're all really excited that we get to do this, that we get to be here and live this life that we thought was just a crazy dream. We totally thought like this could never happen. And so I'm always telling people now, like, do not put limits on God and what he can do. His plan is always greater than our own, and glorify him in everything that you're doing, because everything is for his glory. Every single thing on this planet, whether it's grass growing or growing little children, like it's all glorifying him. And so that's what this place is intended. That's what we want to happen here, and it will happen here, whether we want it or not. It's going to happen anyway, right? And so, yeah, I'm very excited, and I'm super thankful that we get to do this. And so I'm gonna try and document as much as we can. It's a lot we've got to do. So thank y'all for watching this short little vlog video. I hope it's short. I don't even know how long I've been going. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. All right, God bless.